Good day. Today I'm going to talk about my thoughts, opinions, and perspectives with regards to a reproductive health issue, which is abortion. So it's either pro choice or pro life. So I'm going to state my points on why I stand with pro choice. So my first point is fetuses are not yet human beings. And I think a fetus it can't survive on its own, and it is very dependent on the mother's body, unlike born human beings. And it was around 1973 that the Supreme Court decided that a fetus had no constitutional right until around 24 to 28 weeks of pregnancy, as it is incapable of functioning independently from the mother during that time. So, my next point is women have a right to decide what to do and what happens to their own bodies. So, in my opinion, women have the right to have an abortion, and I think it's their freedom of choice as well as a control over their body. So, many people regard the right to control one's own body as a key moral right. So, let's put it this way. So, let's say that a woman has the right to decide what she can do and can't do with her body, and a fetus exists inside a woman's body. A woman has the right to decide whether to keep that that fetus inside her body, or to take it out. So, therefore, a pregnant woman has the right to abort the fetus. So, my third point is the government has no right to a woman to dictate what happens to a woman's body. So I think abortion should be a legal option for women, because the government has no right to interfere with a woman's body, because legal abortions result in far more fatalities, because making abortion illegal won't stop abortions from happening, and it will only stop them from being safe. So, which brings me to my next point. So, I think there are too many unwanted children now, and anti abortion laws will only result in thousands more unwanted children. So, I think that there is no, and I think that there is no reason with that why a woman should have to face all the consequences from something that she did not do alone. So, I think if a guy can with a get away from having a woman pregnant, and I think there is no reason why she should be the only one responsible for everything. And I also believe that it is best for a child not to be born at all than to be born hated to a mother who is forced to have him because she had no choice, and not because that she wants the child. So, my next point would be, one would argue with me that if a woman is willing to have sex, she is knowingly taking the risk of getting pregnant, and she would be responsible for her actions. So I do believe in taking responsibility in one's actions, but in some cases, I believe that abortion is taking responsibility. And I think if a mother knows that she won't be able to provide for her child, it's actually more responsible to have an abortion, and in doing so prevents a lot of suffering and misery. So, personally, I love life and I love babies, but an unwanted life is far more worse than to have no life at all. So, for sure, there are many anti-abortionists who sincerely believe that to abort a fetus is a intolerable sin. But for sure, there are also so-called pro-life advocates and lawmakers who are nothing but hypocrites. So the reason for that is, I think they feel they should be able to force their views and religious beliefs on everyone, and um, they devoutly insist that all babies need to be born, but their concern for life ends there. How many of these pro-lifers turn their back when many of those unwanted children live in poverty, or when their families need help to buy enough food to keep them well nourished? So I think members of minorities and poor people will usually find themselves forced to bear children for whom they cannot adequately care. I think if they're so concerned about bringing unwanted kids into the world, then why don't we see them marching, demonstrating, and advocating for poverty programs and initiatives? So, unfortunately, I think that I'm also afraid that they are not really pro life at all.